Isaiah Owolabi from Nigeria.
On the ground in Ibafo community, Isaiah's interventions are changing lives.
Some are trained, they don't have job. They are trained, they don't have equipment to work. But due to this program, we are so grateful that many of them now, they can now boast of having something done. They can now, they have little more amounts with them now. They stop following men, and those that are with men among them, they don't fight because of 500 naira, because of 1,000 naira. My husband, they don't give me this or do, because they are now using the equipment to work and have money to prepare food and even take care of their children at home. We thank God that many of them, they don't fight their husband again because they have enough. They don't demand all the time.
As you can see, this delivery bed in this unfinished labor room is in a state of disrepair. As we move forward into the sanitation facility, we find that as we turn the knob on the sink, water is unavailable. As we move forward into the main delivery ward, we see a decrepit facility with unfinished beds. In the midst of all of these shortfalls, the provision of these birthing kits have been crucial in the decrease of infections amongst women and the enhancement of infant survival rates in Ibafo community.
We have provided over 10,000 birthing kits to people in Ibafo and Ogun State community in general through support of Mrs. Olatunde serving as our focal point. And this is what a typical average birthing kit looks like, and this is what the content is. So we have Macintosh. Macintosh is where the woman lies on when they're actually during labor. And this is a glove. It's important that each TBA or each person that is delivering a baby actually wears glove to avoid infection from a new baby who has very, very low immunity. So this is a glove, and then this is the surgical blade, and it's sterilized. So this is very, very important. Before we came into this community, you notice that traditional birth attendants, and not only in this community, use the same blade for different pregnant women, and that can transfer lots of infection. So it's important that one pregnant woman, one blade. Actually, one pregnant woman, one kit. And this is an antiseptic soap. And this soap generally is used to clean your hands when you're done to avoid infections, bacterial infections and everything. And this is a thread for tying the cord. So this kit basically looks really small, but it's a life-saving equipment. So when you hear or see statistics that we have very high maternal mortality rate in Nigeria, I can tell you that one of the causes is sometimes lack of these kinds of equipment at health centers across different local government areas in Nigeria. And now when pregnant women have access to this life-saving equipment, we can be sure to be able to reduce maternal mortality to a very large extent, which is what we do across communities in Ibafo, Ogun State in general.
Isaiah, we've had an opportunity to see some of the contributions that you have made through Hasey in the Ibafo community. Can you give us a sense of what some of your targets are, what some of your plans are moving forward?
Like you see what we're doing in Ibafo with traditional birth attendant on maternal mortality and economically empowering women and also preventing sexual violence. This is a success story already, and we do not want to just sleep over this success story. We want this to go all over Nigeria and all over Africa, empowering communities not just as an activity, but to be able to help them lead sustainable and productive life. And we want to do this across different communities, and we want this to become a culture where every community, every woman, every young person is able to live up to their full potential.
In Tobi Owolabi, we see a young man who shares the same hobbies and passions as his contemporaries. But yet what makes him so exceptional is his deep understanding that service to others is of so much greater value than life centered around oneself. When seemingly ordinary people commit themselves to living extraordinary lives of service, we see one of the great templates of exceptional leadership, and this is what Tobi demonstrates. Next week on the program, we introduce you to more young leaders from around the African continent. Monitoring and evaluation is a key component of policy development and implementation, and we sit down with a young man from an African monarchy who shares his insight with us. Please join us right here next week. My name is Juri Ngelale. Until next time, lead where you are, and followers will find you.